What's up, Brian?
Not a whole lot. What's up with you?
You see what I did? I kind of grew this out for a guest today.
Well, it looks 5 o'clock shadow-ish. Is that 7-day shadow?
It's 4 days. 4 days.
4-day shadow? Looks good. Good. You know, I was gonna go bald, but my wife asked me not to in honor of our guest. She didn't think that was a good idea, so I didn't. I was gonna do it before I went to physical therapy today, and she wouldn't let me. So
Bald might be in my future. I think I'm gonna let Cecilia cut my hair.
I like it. It's a good look. I mean, the guy we got on tonight's pretty hot. So,
well, what I'm saying is, if it don't go well, bald might be the next option.
you know, and it'll always grow back. So, but you're looking a little hippie-ish.
For some of us, it'll grow back, but not all. All right, but on that note, let's get started.
Hi, this is Blinky, broadcasting almost live from the Boscoyo Broadcast Studios. You're listening to the second season of the Professional Triers podcast.
Oh, yeah!
Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. And now here are your hosts, the Professional Triers. Live from the Boscoyo Broadcast Studios, you're listening to the Professional Triers Holiday Light Show.
Hey, welcome to another episode. I don't know if it's a great way to start the show with digging on the guest we have, but today we have the official co-host, well, not the official, the original co-host to the Professional Triers, where we actually never did this show with him, like to ask him questions, so might as well start now. And I got my handy-dandy co-host, Brian.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing?
And then today's guest is Mr. Vinny with the great Office background. How you doing, Vinny?
Hola. You know, I'm glad you recognized the background. I didn't know if anybody would get it or not.
Well, it figures you'd have a bald guy in the background. He's just going bald, not totally bald.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, Brian, I appreciate the compliments of you saying I'm hot, but, you know, to be honest, I sent you a package recently, and I just wrote Bearded Beauty on it. And the mail people knew to take it to you.
You know,
so,
and I called on
the package.
I called you when I got it. I've been called a lot of things. A bearded beauty is not one of them.
I put his name on the package as Bearded Beauty. And it arrived at his house.
Speaking of beauties and backgrounds, you know, Jordan right here, I had a meeting with the guys he works with, and they had some questions on why Jordan was on my wall.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I was very nice to Jordan, and I didn't clarify everything about it. I just said it was Jordan, it was him, and it is autographed. I had left it as that. All right.
You should have played it off as that he is far more famous than they realize, and just pimped him up to be this huge celebrity within the community and make them like really, whoa, wow.
He is known around the world.
Yeah. It's hard to do that, Vinny, though, when the other people in the room, well, at least one of them is way more famous than Jordan ever could be.
What? Brian was there too?
Any guesses?
You were there?
No. In the room with Jordan.
TBG?
Nope, not TBG.
No?
In the room with
also
Jordan.
In Utah.
Oh, Richard Holdeman.
Yes, Richard Holdeman.
Oh.
So it's hard to talk up Jordan that much when you had Mr. Holdeman in the room.
Well, you know, if you're new to the show, then Jordan might be more famous than.
I know a lot of people that would say Jordan is more famous than Richard. Not a lot, but I'm saying in the newer crowd.
Oh, yes.
The young,
yeah, the newer to the hobby crowd.
Say juniors and below.
You make me spill my beer there with you're considering this grade school. So after you've done this for 4 years, what do you consider, Brian?
Oh, then you go into graduate school.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when you're supposed to know your stuff.
So when you're 12 years in it like me and you don't know shit, what are you in, community college?
You said it, not me, brother.
I've been there, done that.
Oh, shoot.
Anyways,
Are we doing a show or what?
yeah, we better get into questions about
How many
Vinny
people
before
have we offended already?
I know. All right, we better get going on this before this is our last show. Vinny, why don't you tell us a little bit about
I went to
yourself?
community college and I'm offended. Tell you about myself?
Was a nice try.
Yes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Vinny, and I live in Malcolm, Nebraska, which is nobody knows what that is, but that's a tiny little farm town. When I say tiny, I'm talking 180 people. Okay, so 180 people that live in my town. But I'm just outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. So I got a city that's about 20 minutes drive away. Not that big a deal. And it's 20 minutes of farm ground between here and there. So anyway, that's I have a Christmas light show. That's
And are you the original creator of a group?
okay. I was the original founder of the Holiday Lighting Think Tank.
Woohoo. Oh,
I was convict number 101.
Yes,
Awesome.
the think tank would be non-existent if it wasn't for Vinny. Which would probably mean this podcast would be non-existent because I feel like everything fed off of that.
That's what started it, and everything has kind of rolled from there. Now, I'll be honest though, a lot of that I can't take credit for that. I mean, that's my gift in all of that, my skills or my whatever, wasn't about that I built something great. It's that I asked the right people to help me. You know, people, JR, when we brought you in as an admin and things like that, I mean, I just surrounded myself with the right people that made it great. And that's why it became what it is.
I tend to disagree, but okay, thank you.
So, anyways, I mean, a lot of people already know this question, but married and children.
Or shirt to you.
On cue.
Oh, she actually responded this time. My computer
That's the
is
first time.
my computer is in my basement now instead of out in my shop. So now if I yell at her, she actually hears me now.
Oh, so now it's real.
Now if I do that, she's actually going to respond. She just responded, "What do you want? Damn it." Or probably she yelled, "Shut up" or something. Yes, I am married. See, check this out. Check this out. You see this? David Peace made this for me, right? Just
Panic button.
says panic, right? Listen. It's great. David
That's
Peace made that for
awesome.
me. Yes, and then I've also got children. I got 2 boys, 9 and 8.
And that's it. You're not going to tell us about your other 4-legged children?
They're
Well,
gone.
I have 3 dogs. I have like 30 chickens. I had until last week. I had 5 goats, 2 goats, and then they had babies. So then I had 3 little baby goats, and so 5 total goats. But we sold them all. They are all gone now. No more goats. And we're in the process of selling our hot tub because my backyard is being completely re-renovated.
Or remodeled, English.
And I am putting in a pool.
Oh, snap.
So I'm going to have a pool in the backyard. So I'm changing everything. It's all going to be this cool little hangout space. So we got rid of the goats. We're getting rid of the hot tub and, just making the room for that.
So I'm assuming since you're doing the pool, Maggie let you buy that tractor part you wanted?
No, but I will hold that over her head next time I need a tractor implement. Yeah, those are called implements, JR, not tractor parts.
You were going to get
no, I was just
Sorry,
thinking that
I know you know
to not go into Hello.
Yeah.
I own a tractor. Well, actually, 4 tractors.
No, I'll hold that over her head though. Next time I want something. Yep.
Yeah. You're gonna get
And
the
not
tiller
just
or the
I'm
box
putting
blade?
I'm putting in a pool. It's a shit ton of work. This sucks. So I'm sorry, Brian. What?
A lot of leveling off to do. You gonna get the tiller or the box blade? Box scraper.
I will probably just get a box blade. I think I
Yeah.
get more use out of it. So when she listens to this episode, she'll probably give me a call and say, "You're not buying that damn thing." But you know, my dad's got a tiller, so I'll just
Yeah.
borrow that whenever I need it. A big tiller. I got a hand tiller.
A hand tiller. Come on now.
Well, it's like a walk behind.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like a push mower equivalent of a tiller.
Okay. All right. What do you do for a living?
What are we talking about tillers for?
I don't know.
This is a Christmas light show.
What do you do for a living?
I am a data dork.
Data dork.
That is what real electricians call us. Technically, I'm an electrician. So, okay.
I like how he's like, technically.
Technically, I'm an electrician. That's what I'm
Low
called.
voltage.
But I am a low voltage electrician. So, that is why real electricians call us the data dorks.
I feel like Vinny needs a new shirt.
Yep. So for people that want to know,
the more volts, he's
low
he's
votes,
the,
yeah,
he's the low vote.
low votes,
Low votes.
low votes, less problems.
That
For
is a
people that
fact.
want to know what a low
I
volt
got 99
electrician
problems
is,
and my volts ain't one.
yes, yep. I work on anything less than 50 volts. So what that means for the average Joes is basically anything that, think of the electrical world. If it has a brain though, that's what I do. Meaning security systems, cameras, data. I do shit tons and tons of data. Fire alarms, those are all smart controlled. And actually we're getting more and more into just doing lighting even. You go into big buildings. Right now I'm doing a hospital school. It's a 4-story hospital educational center. And we're going to do all the lighting control there because they'll have one central control computer that they can say, turn the lights on the building or go into night mode or whatever, and it changes all the lights, right? So we do all that too. That's what a low volt electrician is. I don't put in outlets and light switches. How about that? So when people say, can you come over to my house on Saturday and help me put in this outlet in my garage? Nope.
Not happening.
Nope. I can't do that.
But convince you?
No, let's put it this way. I won't do that.
All right. What about smart outlets?
Ooh.
Those are 120 volts. So
They're
I
still
won't
bad.
do
You
that.
just said anything with a brain.
I won't do that.
Not high volt.
I hope
So
nobody noticed my my beer overflowing.
You were totally pouring it incorrectly. I
was because I was trying to pay attention to the video, not pay attention to my beer.
No, Brian's on the screen. Everyone's looking at him right now.
What is he doing?
Everyone's looking at Brian. You got something that beautiful on the screen. You pay attention to it.
Oh yeah, I got it all going on here. So, how long have you had a Christmas light display? And tell us about if you can, your upcoming display. Well, I guess we could do that in the speed round though.
I have
throw it in.
no. I can talk about it whenever. To this crowd, to the listening audience of this show, I can talk about all you want. Around my area, I am a little bit more secretive about it, but no, that's fine. You guys don't live here, so and trust me, statistically speaking, none of your listeners are probably from Nebraska either. There's only a few of us that live here. So, I have had lights since the first Christmas that Maggie and I were together. We've been together for like 13 years now. I had lights on the balcony of our apartment that we had together. I put lights on the balcony railing, and it's just grown from there. We rented a house together, and I put lights there. It was just the strings on the roof, and then we bought a house, and I put more lights on, and then I built my first mega tree with Lightorama boxes. And here's how it. God damn! I wish I had this book. I should send out Maggie. I should send. Uh, uh,
Hey, we
then
didn't let Keith share his screen, so you can't bring a book into play.
but
No sharing of the screen. Oh,
Screeno. But this is an actual book. So then one year, it was random. And it was funny too the way it worked out. Because I had talked to a coworker friend of mine about Christmas Expo and how I wanted to go to this event. I'm like, dude, it's a conference all about Christmas lights. And I was super excited about it. And at the time, I didn't know anybody. I didn't even know a community of Christmas lights existed. Well, he hit me up he was over one Sunday and he's like, hey, how did that conference ever go on Christmas lights? I'm like, oh, I forgot all about it. We looked it up and it was that coming week. So we immediately booked flights and I went out by myself for just like the Friday and the Saturday of it. And of all people, I met Mike Barsky there. And Mike and I have been friends ever since. I love him to death. He's one of the coolest people ever. And of course, then Mike introduced me to Tater. And one thing just rolled into another, that I kind of got involved in the community a little bit. And so as my involvement in the community grew, my show grew. So I was purely LOR and static lights for most of the time until about 4 years ago, I had my first pixels. And then now I'm about 50-50 in my pixels AC. I mean, pixels are what my show is most famous for. That's what does the majority of the show. But realistically, I have about 50% static AC, not musical AC, just static, because I think it adds a good mix.
you gonna tell us about your upcoming project? You told us you could because nobody listens from Nebraska.
We've gone commercial. We're not we're not like vendors or anything like that when I say commercials, but we're gonna decide to. We've taken our light show commercial, which I think was our plan 4 years ago. We knew that was the ultimate goal. I wanted to do Christmas lights for a living, but I wanted to have my own show. So we just have slowly built it over the last 3 years, and now we're going commercial. We will be our show next year. We've taken over our county fairgrounds. We've got a 3-year contract with them that I have the rights to the land for 3 months out of the year. And that's when we'll do it, or that's where we'll do it. So it'll be fairly decently sized area, but the show will still stay small because our show isn't like a lot of drive-throughs that you've seen where it kind of winds, right? Ours is in an RV campground, an RV park. So it's great. There's power distributed everywhere. We really, really like that. And it's a big circular drive. It's got a moat that goes all the way around it. Basically, the park is like on an island surrounded by a river on 95% of it. It's in this little nook. Anyway, we'll be at about almost 200,000 pixels for the show, plus an equal number of lights themselves. So we'll be over 500,000 lights this year. Close enough that the goal for year 2 is we will for sure be over 1 million by year 2.
Wow.
So, because we'll be somewhere, I think, in the like 600 to 700,000 lights this year. So we'll definitely get over the 200 mark next year, or excuse me, the 1 million mark next year.
Wow.
Yep. Thank God I don't sequence it.
Awesome.
I'm so glad I don't sequence it.
That's gonna be so cool. Hopefully, we're allowed to fly by that point, and I could possibly come out and see it.
Come out.
It'd be cool.
We're gonna have a party in the park.
Do they have airplanes out there in Montana, Ryan?
They do. They flap, but we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to take the horse and buggy to the nearest big city.
Yep.
I don't know if they had them. I mean, I know how you guys feel about them Canada Gooses, but
They get in the way sometimes. They
You got
screw
a
up the
problem with
screw up the jet
Canada
stream.
Gooses. You got a problem with me.
Oh man, here we go with Letterkenny again.
Missed that. Is it ever going to come out with season 9? Anyways,
No.
so,
Now
I
we're
hope
over here
so.
talking about
God,
Letterkenny.
God, I hope so. Such a great show.
well, season 8 was slightly, I don't know, like they were looking for stuff to write about or talk about.
Probably.
Sucked.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're done with the
Moving
Letterkenny reviewing. Tell
You
us
don't have
about-
a you don't have a dedicated Letterkenny section in every episode.
No, we're not Canadian.
Oh, we should. I'm gonna.
I don't approve. I don't approve of this.
Well, we do have a
JR's like,
a
no, you
three-quarter
are not.
Canadian here, so maybe we should have a Letterkenny section, little segment about Letterkenny.
There's not a drop of Canadian in me.
Yeah. To be fair,
To be fair,
Except for the quotes. When I was out in LA.
you can totally do that now too. You
Oh.
tacos in LA.
I was really close to LA.
All right, tell us about yourself, something about yourself that nobody else knows, and that includes us.
oh gosh, that no one else knows.
Yes.
This has been a tough one.
You know, gosh, see, I could have prepared something really interesting, I'm sure.
Well, if you've listened to the show lately,
you guys,
prepare.
God, I've been so busy. I have not listened to the podcast in so long. I'm sorry. I feel shitty about that. You guys probably know this about me, but
It doesn't count.
for the listeners that don't, I'm going to ignore you by not indicating that I heard what you said. But for the listeners, I actually have a Christmas light wedding ring tattoo on my finger.
Everybody
Most people
on the
know
think
that.
tank knows
Maggie
that.
posted it on the internet.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody in the think tank knows it.
That's the dedication to the Christmas lights.
All right, try again.
And so it's a light bulb with Maggie's initial.
There's a lot more interesting things that maybe me and Brian only know. That the
Okay, this could be fun. You guys tell me interesting things you know about me
I
that
could tell a
most
story
listeners
that-
don't.
baseball
What?
announcer.
Yeah, I used to be a professional baseball announcer. Yep.
Well,
Next
there you
up in a
go.
bat, number 5, Brian Mcveigh. You know, I did that. No, I
That's
didn't
right,
spend
you
a lot
did.
of the time up in the booth though. I spent most of my time. I was the
hype man.
the promotional announcer. So I was the guy that between innings, like I'd find kids in the crowd and we'd go out onto the field between innings and play games and stuff. You know, it was a minor league team, so they have to do those shenanigans.
Were you also the
You
mascot?
were the
I was never in the suit as a mascot. You don't hide this face behind a mascot. You should, but they never did. I did get to play like in the inflatable balls though a lot. That was fun. You ever tried to run in an inflatable ball while holding a mic and talking? Yeah.
Can't say I have. There we
It's a
go.
challenge.
no, can't say
The
it.
fact nobody knew about Vinny that he
See, when I
loved
picture
running
that,
in
I picture
balls with
the-
a microphone in his mouth.
Brian, what do you think is something interesting about me that no one knows? You know me pretty well.
Well, we already talked about when Maggie was right that one time.
You remember that time? Dude, that was 11 years ago.
It was a year ago. 1 year
It was-
ago. Actually,
It just feels like 11 years ago?
It just feels like 11.
I do
years.
remember that time she was right. Wasn't it a Tuesday? I did not like that day. Screw that.
See,
Oh my God, Maggie.
that
Maggie,
was
I'm a
almost
fan of
a
you.
live. That was
Maggie,
almost
we're
a
friends.
live think tank.
Oh, Jesus. Poor
Remember
her.
that one time? Oh, sorry.
Poor her.
Brian, you got nothing?
I got nothing.
That's okay. I'm not overly interesting
it.
anyway.
All right.
The only thing
Besides
I
Maggie.
could think of.
All right. Besides Maggie, because we know Maggie loves Christmas lights too. How does the rest of your family take your hobby?
The boys don't actually acknowledge or understand how weird it is.
Not your kids. Not your kids. I want
Oh,
people to
not my
understand
kids.
how weird you are. What about your parents and your siblings and stuff like that? What do
Uh,
they think?
okay, so for my sisters, I have two older sisters. Um, they pretty much like around town, around the community, because we all live in the same vicinity area together. The community in the area all knows me as the Christmas Lighthouse, and so when you get around that December timeframe, they are only known as the people. Their brother is the Christmas light guy, and they're like, "Oh, hey, where's your brother's house at again?" Like that's the only thing that people talk to them about. So they get annoyed about it. My parents, they actually, my parents are more proud of me now than probably ever because this,
Christmas Lights is doing that.
yeah. Well, we've been on the news at least once every year the last 4 years, right? Last year we were on the news, I don't know, 4 or 5 times for the Christmas lights. But this is the thing. My dad has been a donor, a booster for the Nebraska football program, Nebraska athletics program for 30 years, right? A long, long, long time. Well, last year, the official University of Nebraska athletic department, which has millions of, Twitter followers and whatever, their official Merry Christmas card, e-card or whatever to their entire world was our Christmas light show, was our of some videos of our light show. That was probably my proudest moment in my parents' eyes. They were more proud of me at that point because that's being spread all over the world, and all these people saw it, and so many people went back to them and were like, "Did you guys see this? Make sure to show this to Vinny." And they're like, "That's Vinny's house." So
So Larry the Cable Guy saw your house. Is that what
Larry the Cable has been here. Yeah, Dan has been here to my house and seen the
Don't
light
use his
show.
real name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't. Yeah, don't.
Oh, that's another interesting fact. Vinny knows Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
his name is Dan Whitney. He lives here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I don't know if we're supposed to use his name.
Why not? Dude, it's all over the internet. It's the internet now. You can find anything. So it's not.
Yeah, but you don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Now I won't tell you where he lives, but
In Lincoln, Nebraska, you already did.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Well,
obviously.
yeah, but come on,
Lincoln's this big.
Lincoln's at least big enough that you can't just keep driving up and down the streets until you find his house. So
just look for the nicest house.
he's a good guy. He's a good dude. It's not like him and I are friends. We have met each other a whole bunch of times in the same circles. We'll put it that way. It's not like he comes over to hang out on barbecues, but we've met each other probably 24 different times at different social events. We kind of were at the same events together for one reason or another. And I think the last few times that I met him, he did remember my name before I met him. So I'll consider that a big win. I'm not nearly as cool as you made me sound.
You made yourself sound that.
Have you shared a shot of Fireball with him? Not Fireball, hot. Yeah, it is Fireball.
Actually, yes.
Have you hung out in your parents' motorhome with him?
Yes.
I knew that. I knew that was going to be a yes.
Yeah. So
I was just making you sound cooler.
So that story is my parents are really good friends with the principal at the high school that Dan Whitney's Larry the Cable Guy's nephew goes to, and was a star athlete at. Anyway, so he was coming to some games, and my parents, being good friends, the principal and those people asked them, could you bring your motorhome up so that like at halftime and whatever, so that he has a place to get away from the crowd during the game and maybe be able to watch the game, or at least when the game's not going on, he can get away from the crowds. And it was, totally. So my dad and I and my mom, we took the RV up, and my dad invited me to tag along. So we took the
Look at you
RV up,
beg.
and 3 or 4 different high school football games that year. We got to just sit in the RV with him and hang out.
Wait, so let me get this. Your dad told you about this, and you went, "Can I go? Can I go? Can I go?"
Pick
Yeah.
me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me,
Pretty
pick
much
me,
like
pick
that.
me.
Pretty much like that. Yeah. Yep. That was
I'm your
before.
favorite son.
That was before Maggie came into the picture too, so she wasn't involved in any of that. Again, poor Maggie.
Doggone it.
It's okay. She has a shirt.
A famous shirt.
Yes.
Definitely.
She's giving me the puppy dog eyes right now. Ignore her.
Aw.
Why? Why do I have to ignore her?
We're doing a podcast. I'm the famous one right now.
Okay. Sorry.
Hey, attention on me.
Hey, Maggie, can you hear us?
Nope, you're in my headphones.
No. Maggie, if you listen to this episode, we would like to have you on the podcast.
Oh.
She said no.
He didn't even tell her.
she said no.
She said no.
All right. Hey, this is a PG-13 show.
You're going to have to blur that out now.
I know. I'm going to have to put a filter on that.
Okay. So, anyway.
I'm going to text her right now and tell her what we were saying. You're keeping that a secret. Anyways, before we do, I'm sending the text. It is time for Flashpoint. You may know Flashpoint as the speed round.
Okay.
So I'm going to play the little intro. Actually, we're going to play a little commercial. Then we're going to play the little intro. And then you're going to just tell us all the stuff you got. So
just go after it.
Okay.
Here we go.
The Pixel Pro Display Sequence Club is the only club that pays for itself. Here are just some of the benefits of becoming a member. Each month, you will receive a free, original sequence programmed by the pros at PPD to take your display to the next level. Access to weekly X-Lights effects presets, which you can use in your own sequences or modify to create your own unique effects library. Access to the PPD affiliate discount program, getting up to 15% off or more from over a dozen of our PPD partners. So visit us on the web today at pixelprodisplays.com and also find us on Facebook at Pixel Pro University. Pixel Pro Displays. What can Pixel Pro Displays do for you?
Hi, this is Blinky, and now it's time for our favorite segment, Flashpoint. As fast as you can, tell us all about the details of your display.
Go.
All the details of my display. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll just kind of give you, I got 3 big mega trees over on this side. Last year's display. 3. No, let's go to the new display. So there's a huge, big old farm scene. It's got a huge farm scene. It's got about 75. Oh, God, Maggie's yelling at me right now with her eyes. Okay, last year's display. We had over on one side we had 3 big mega trees that were 20 foot tall. We had another mega tree that was a flat pixel ribbon tree. It was 16 foot tall. We had a 1 matrix, 2 matrix, 3 matrices that were all 8x4. A ground matrix that was 100 by 100 feet by 30 feet. Yeah, something like that. Big ground matrix. Okay, then you get over to the house, and the house was covered in stuff and blinders up on the roof. Somebody was talking about blinders today. I really like blinders.
Yep.
Yeah, a whole bunch of snowflakes on the roof, on big ones, 8-foot ones. A round matrix. I have a 360-degree circular matrix. It's 8-foot diameter. So that's big because that's 24 linear feet of a matrix. Then 3 small mega trees that are 12 foot tall. And those are my singing trees. So those all have faces on them. Those are all pixels. Those are really densely lit. And then the other side is pretty much all static stuff. And that's got a big nativity scene. It had a football field, a whole bunch of football field things and them characters that were playing football. and a big horse and carriage.
All right. What about controllers, pigtails, voltage?
That's probably what you
Details.
wanted to know in the beginning.
Yeah, a little
You
bit.
didn't give a
I think
shit.
We've done this before, but you know,
You didn't give a shit about all the stuff I had.
not
Why
really.
didn't you stop me? God, why didn't you stop me? God, dude, it's 80% Falcon. How many controllers do I have? God, I don't know. Like 20 Falcons.
F-16 expansion
Yeah.
cords. What do you got?
Yes.
All of the above?
Okay, I probably have 10 F-16s, some with expansion, some with not. 12 F-16s, some with expansion, some with not. And then a dozen F-48 differentials,
And an F-48.
give or
In
take.
last year's display or coming up this year?
Oh, that was last year's display.
That was last year's stuff.
This year's display,
You're not allowed to
I'll
talk
tell you this.
about it.
I'll tell you how many differential. I will have 64 differential receivers.
Jeez.
That's
Is that the right number?
that's a lot of differential.
Now, I'm not fully using all of them, but with the way things had to be spread out, maybe that's not the right number. I don't remember how many. That might have been it. Anyway,
Well, that was
yeah,
pretty good.
I'm sorry. I
What
totally
pigtail?
probably.
What pigtail do you prefer?
I was always using Ray Wu, but I have, with the big growth of this year, I switched to X Connect.
Voltage.
12, 100%.
And
I will listen to somebody tell me why 5-volt, why they use it. But up to this point, no one has ever given me a good reason.
okay.
Well, you just nod your head
Software and
smile.
scheduling software.
X Lights, X Scheduler.
Okay. And any LOR?
I have some Alpha Pix controllers. Did you want to know that?
What are those?
No, I don't have
too.
any.
I have one too.
Those are from back when I started.
Yeah.
And they still work, so I haven't used, or I still used them up to last year. Hey, Maggie's over there farting. In case you wanted to know that too.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I feel so bad for Maggie.
Oh, okay. So, what was the question? Do I have
Is that it?
LOR controllers? No, I don't. Don't. I have some. I have 3 of them.
Thanks for sharing, but do you use them?
But I don't use them.
Okay.
Not anymore. Not
All
anymore.
right.
Although one of the coolest things ever, if anybody ever wants a singing face with LOR controllers and rope lights built on this is still one of my favorite things I ever built, and I don't use it anymore. But I'm sad about that. I wish I did.
All right. I'm just gonna mute Vinny for a second so I can talk. So now we're gonna get into the rest of the questions. Why Vinny's muted. What do you think? I don't know how to do this. Will, what do you think your past most popular prop is, and what do you think will be the coolest new prop in your new display? Are you allowed to talk about the new display?
I will be totally honest that I think the most popular new display items are going to be the cutouts. We made a whole bunch of cutouts, 100% inspired by the Matos collection. Now we had them custom designed to fit kind of some stuff around our community, certain people, certain buildings, certain things like that. So they were custom designed. So it's not stuff you can get on the Matos collection, but it 100% was designed, inspired, and stolen from that idea. So I really think that's going to be some of our most popular stuff. People are going to love what we've put together, because we have a shit ton of them, 500 pounds worth of them. But yeah, so for the people that don't have any of those things, definitely get them, because I really think those are going to be some of the popular. In the past, pixel trees, mega trees. Definitely. And they're very good reason. For all of us, everybody has one, and we see it on every single person's video. But the problem is that for our majority of our audience, 99.99999% of our audience is not in this community. Therefore, they've never seen it. A pixel megatree, they only know of at our house. Our houses are the only places they've ever seen that, and that is the coolest thing in the freaking world for them. So yeah, the megatrees.
That's awesome.
That's probably the most basic answer ever because everybody says that.
Well, I think it's the most versatile because I mean you can do so much with a mega tree.
I like it
So-
as a good starting point too. That's what my first Pixel
Yeah,
product was.
Love it. It's like a focal point. So so thinking back at the last 12 years or just the last few years at the new house, any problems with your neighbors, your neighborhood, other than trying to get into the circle drive? But has there been any other instances, people driving where they're not supposed to, kids playing where they're not supposed to?
No, I'll tell you this: the weather in Nebraska is fairly cruddy in December. So we have our drive-through. I mean, that's what
Wait,
people
really? You've been trying to get me to move to Nebraska.
Wants to share it for all.
So it's not great. It's not great. It's cold and whatever. So, but what I mean by that is, no, I don't have problems with people like getting out of their car. We've had a couple instances, where people get out of their car or people come try to drive through and it's like 11:30 at night on a Tuesday and the lights are turned off. Now they don't raise hell. They're not like they don't honk at us and tell us to turn the show on or something, but that we'll see them or hear them drive through and it's like, really, come on. For the most part, no, I've never really had any problems. When we lived in the city, no, we got along great with all of our neighbors. We were good friends with all of our neighbors, so no one had a problem. But or if they did, we didn't know about it. Some of our neighbors might have hated it, but we were friends with them, so they never told us otherwise. But at the new place, no, everything's great. I wish I had bad stories to tell you so people could learn from them. But I guess my learning point would be friends with your neighbors.
Oh yeah.
Or
you should
people in
anyways.
Nebraska are just nicer.
Yeah, we're all friends. No, I haven't had a single person ever give me a problem.
What about Dave in the trailer?
That's different.
You know where that question
How
just came
so?
from? Somebody just messaged me that.
Oh, Maggie just texted you, huh? That's different. That's different. Okay.
Now we
that's
gotta
different.
know though.
So, when I bought this house in this land, I bought 5 acres and the house and the outbuildings from a guy who had 30 acres and he kept the other 25. He divided off my house, my land, and sold it to me. He kept the other 25 and now he's built it down on the other end. Well, he built his house right on my north end. And I like to use that north end because it's the furthest part of my property away from my house. It also is kind of hidden behind a line of trees, so I don't see that north end. Now, that's right in front of his house. So for me, it's a long ways away. For him, it's right in front of him. But because it's hidden behind a line of trees, I put like a Connex there for storing Christmas lights. I've built like a 4-wheeler track for my kids. And Dave hates it, right? He had to look at this big Connex trailer that I was storing stuff in. And so this year we tried to, we were buying a semi trailer to store Christmas lights in. And he threw this huge fit because he didn't want to look at the semi trailer. Now, initially I had it parked in one location so that it was more hidden from him, but he threw such a fit that we had to go through all these problems, all these hoops. It cost me a ton of money to have it hauled away and then brought back and blah, 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 all this other stuff. So then I parked it right on the damn corner, right in front of his house. So now he has to stare at it. The old Connex, because I'm a nice guy, I
Wow.
like to believe I'm a nice guy. As soon as he told me, hey, we hate looking at that thing, I can't move it. But what I did do is I repainted it. So it wasn't the red sea crate that it used to be. It was dark brown to best hide it into the trees as best as I could. I even planted some trees around it to kind of help hide it. I did what I best I could for him. I'm not being nice to him anymore. He's been a D word. Sorry. Oh, is Maggie still texting you?
Yeah. When does he come home?
He's not home yet. He's still snowbirding. Burning
Oh,
in the
so
snow.
as
Snowbird.
Maggie says, he doesn't even know you put the trailer there yet.
Oh, I'm sure he does because he's got kids that come and keep an eye on his property. Hey, snowbirds. He goes like south, to Texas, Arizona type places, for the winter. So I don't know. He'll be home soon. Who knows? He probably would have come home months ago, like my parents did, but I don't know. The COVID, maybe they decided to stay down there, or maybe they just know that they are coming home to a giant trailer in their front yard, and they don't want to. So be it. Fine. And the issue is I spent 3 years being the nice guy while he was the D word, and now I'm not nice anymore. He's the only one.
Sometimes you
He's
only
never
take
had a
so
problem
much
with my
of it.
Christmas lights. He just has a problem with me.
Thank you, Maggie, for letting the truth come out, because Vinny made it sound like everybody loves him.
Okay, well here's the point. He sold me the house, and there were all sorts of things that he did terribly, and he hid them. Didn't tell us about it when we bought the house, right? He hid these
But
things.
he lived next door. That's just
Yeah, that's a dick move, a D word move on his part. Um, he would flaws in the house. He hid them from inspection. Didn't tell us about them. Problems. We had a collapsed pipe leading to our septic tank that I had to pay to have it completely fixed and replaced. It cost me $6,000. Now, at the time, we had just moved in. We had been here for 2 months.
Brian. Should I mute?
Wow.
So these are things that I'm sorry. Just tell me to shut up and move on. You know I talk too much.
Oh, it's fun. It's good. It's good. It's
Jerry,
entertaining.
I was just
So-
giving an example of why Dave's a dick.
Hey, now I gotta mute. I gotta edit that D word.
Fine, Keith.
2.
No, I do it. I
you
do
it
this
now?
show. Yeah. Keith
Okay.
does everything else. I try to take something off his plate. So
Okay.
if you complain about the editing, it's me.
Okay. Make a bleep there.
I don't know how to make a bleep yet. I'll just make you silent.
Can I drop an F bomb right in here so
No.
then just all of a sudden my voice just
Moving on.
I live
Number-
edited him. All right. Tell us the evolution of your display.
oh gosh. Oh, I'm unmuted now. Hey, do you remember when we had that other guest one time that never stopped talking? Made me look terrible. I mean, he never ever stopped talking. I wish we could have muted him.
And you left it up to me to interrupt him. We could have muted him. You're the one that had the control.
Oh, back then. Do you remember? God, that was that was the worst episode ever. Anyway, the evolution of my show. Honestly, when I went to a musical control display, I started with RGB right away. The first show I ever did that was musically controlled. I did have.
You just told us you had an LOR.
I had an LOR box controlling my Mega Tree, and that was AC. But my entire house was dumb RGB, controlled by LOR dumb RGB controllers. So it was all LOR. My Mega Tree was AC. Everything else was dumb RGB.
So how did
Cool.
it?
So
I did my own sequencing back then. And then I did that for 2 years, and then I evolved into pixels, and I pretty much dived head first. Did I think just a mega tree the first year, and then switched it to pretty much everything. Everything was pixels after that.
So if you started your display over again on a clean slate, what would be different? Where would you go? How would you do it? Kind of sort of what you're doing with next year.
Well, I guess it would, for me, I wouldn't change a thing because I love the musical display. And that's got to be a question you got to always ask yourself and answer for yourself. Is if you want the musical display, go pixels. Absolutely. It's just they're so versatile. And even if you say, I don't like the pixels, they're too flashy and then don't make them flash so much.
Yeah,
Control them, make them flash less. Make them static if you so choose to. They can do everything. They're so versatile. But I like the musical stuff, so I would go pixels. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I would have gone Falcon from day one if I had gone differently. Now, back then, Falcon was the best. I'm not trying to tell you right now that Falcon is where you should go because Falcon's the best. Because now in 2020, there's way more options than there used to be.
Yeah.
So back then, though, I had an Alpha Pix, I had a Pixelite, and Falcons, and I was mixing all three of them. That was a pain in the ass.
Okay, so if you could go see 3 shows, what would be your 3 to go visit?
The 3 shows that I would want to go visit. I would like to come out and see your Orchard. I would like to see that one. I want to see Brian's show, but mostly just because I love Brian.
I think this is a whole lot of brown nosing going on right now.
No, let's see. Where do I really want to go?
See,
I want to go for Halloween. I want to go out to Mike Barsky's place. He's got a pretty great, pretty impressive Halloween show. I'd like to go see that. Let's see. What else do I really want to see?
Those were 3.
Okay. So we
Unless
can't.
you want to keep adding on.
Nah, there's nothing that jumps to mind.
Yeah, no, he's literally saying it. He was being nice to us. Continue on with your real list of 3, please. Mike is 1. Your other 2.
Richard Holdman does some really cool new stuff that I'd like to go see because he's got some props that I'm really jealous of that I have made my own stealing version of. I'd love to go see Jordan Nash's show. I want to see it in person with the projection mapping. I haven't seen projection mapping in person. So only on small scale demonstrations, not big scale or something like that. So I'd like to go see his show.
Sweet. Okay, that was a good list of 3.
No, I stand by my answer though.
In the beginning, and then we got the real 3.
I do stand by my decisions to come out and see your guys' shows.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you know that your show is not one of the biggest, but you have personality.
Is that what it is?
Try.
Mm-hmm. Good looks, good personality.
We're gonna have to change up the wording on that question.
That's all you need.
All right, so where are we? What tips would you give somebody new getting into the hobby?
Tips for new people. Ask for help. That's it. That's the one. No one knows everything. And I promise you, no one knows anything. I have gotten text messages, private messages from people that you would never believe would ask for help. But they hit you up with questions, and because they knew I knew about something, and they would ask. I'll just be honest. I mean, the Matt Johnsons of the world, the Tom Georges of the world, the James Hohensies, those guys, they all ask for help from someone at some point. I promise you. Do not feel like you have to know everything in order to do this stuff, because you won't. Something will come up You could be a network engineer and you need help with the welding in the prop building. Great. Ask people for help with the welding, or vice versa. Just ask for help. People are there to help you. That's the advice I'd give you.
What do you think will be the next must-have prop? I feel like it will be corn.
You have no idea.
Oh, I know.
My fingers hurt from punching corn. Okay. Here's the thing I think is the future. If somebody can figure out how to make projection mapping more readily available, I think that presents unbelievable possibilities. Average homeowner, if there is a way, somebody figures out a way, a device that is weatherproof, weather resistant, to just sit outside your house and easily, quickly put something up on the house, and it makes a big, huge, a thing where it's one device that they sit down and they can do a ton with.
Yeah.
That is the future. Somebody just has to figure out how to make that mass produced to withstand the elements. That's the problem now. But think about this. I mean, back when we started with Pixels 4 years ago, Pixels were incredibly intensive in terms of getting everything you wanted them to do. Now, Pixels are easier than AC, in my
True.
opinion.
True.
So
So
someday, somebody will figure out this projection mapping thing.
Cool. So, what is the most awkward interaction you've had with a guest viewing your show?
Anybody medium?
Anybody?
and not the person giving out the candy.
Inside joke. Inside joke. The most awkward conversation. Okay. How about this? We once did an unveiling night where it was the first night the show lit. There was a bunch of people out. And there was a couple people up in the front. I don't know who they were. And of course, like every first night, we had some technical difficulties. Ended up taking a long time to fix it, like a few days to get my phone to work to turn on the show, which had worked earlier that day. And so I ended up, the unveil, the whole like 3, 2, 1, go, it didn't work. So I had to run to the shop, manually start the show. Well, while I was running there to do that, there were some kids up front, extremely rude, saying, dropping the F-bombs, this is dumb, this is, it doesn't even work, and blah, blah, blah. Just obnoxious and rude kids. And my kids were standing behind them and totally stood up to them and said, shut up, this is our house and it's awesome. And that was kind of cool, because I heard about the story later. Obviously I wasn't there, but I heard about the story later, and it was kind of cool. It was a proud moment of like my kids standing up for the light show, and like, it was neat.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's an awkward interaction, but it's something.
That's a good one though.
All right. So, kind of feel like we went over this a little bit, but what makes your show so unique, and what is your favorite prop?
My uniqueness is probably the mix. I mix the static AC stuff with the pixels. And I want to always do that. I want to always try to mix things. I don't think you can have just 100% pixels. It becomes too much for your eyes. So that's something unique. If you come to my place, what you weren't expecting to see is all the AC stuff or all the static stuff. You thought you were just going to see this big pixel display. But as for what is my favorite prop, I got that round matrix thing that is really cool. Everybody else seems to love it a whole bunch, but I hate it. It's such a pain in the butt considering what you really got out of it. A lot of people would say that's probably my coolest prop. The football field, maybe that's my favorite prop, because it's really neat, it's really cool, and it's really easy to set up.
I love how you're judging your favorite prop by how easy it is.
Yeah.
My
I
round
heard
matrix
three
is cool,
criteria
but
that-
it's hard. So my football,
I hate it.
I'm going with my
Yeah.
football field because it's easy.
Yeah. It's the wow factor and the coolness factor of the football field. Because how many times have you ever seen a Christmas light football field?
True.
So it's so easy to set up and to take care of and everything. And so I go that.
I see that we're putting Vinny asleep with our.
Well,
But-
I was looking at the time, and it's coming up on the witching hour, so we need
I feel
to
like it's already bedtime
do
for
the-
Vinny. So
Oh, and guys, I have been building the pool for Maggie in my free time, and I just ask her how I feel about that. So all my personal time, when I get home from work, I start working on the pool. Oh, that's a good one. That was a good one. That was well done.
and 4 a.m. comes really early, right?
Yep, it does.
all right. So let's get to the end of the show then, Brian. Are you ready?
Let's
Are
do
you
it.
ready? All right. You know what's coming, Vinny. We got a little intro, got a little
Okay.
commercial. Then we're gonna ask you random rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
here we go.
Once again, the Professional Triers Holiday Lighting Show has raised the bar, teaming up with another awesome sponsor, Zazzle, to provide you, our VIP listeners, with some cool, awesome, one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear, including the Hot or Not shot glass, the Blinky Flashy Lowdown notebook, the Professional Triers Blinky Gear beer stein, the ever-so-popular David Peace Not a Vendor t-shirt, the must-have Robert Petty Make Rob Great Again t-shirt, the one-of-a-kind Jordan Nash
Do you like my decorations?
t-shirt, and of course the must-have Professional Triers Blinky t-shirt, and much, much more. You can even create your own one-of-a-kind Professional Triers gear. So go to trierswag.com, that's TRIERSSWAG.com, and get your Professional Triers gear today.
Hi, it's Blinky again. And now it's time for our fan favorite, Rapid Fire Questions.
What color is your toothbrush?
Black.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Probably invisibility or flight. I can't decide.
Nah, everybody
That's
picks
awkward.
flight. We'll go with
Yeah,
invisibility.
I probably invisibility.
What is the most ridiculous fact you know?
Oh gosh, I have a whole list of electrical technical questions right here that you would not even want to begin to. Useless.
Okay? Change it up. What's the best worst dad joke you know?
Oh gosh, I know so many good dad jokes, but you put me on the spot like this, I can't think of them. Dude, I am so good at. I do dad jokes to my kids all the time, but I can't. On the spot, I got nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I could have prepared.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
All right.
Fuck yeah. Yes, it is.
Why you gotta? God, I gotta mute that out too, Vinny. If you
have
don't
no
hear
idea.
Vinny talking, it's because of his
You're
language.
making
Yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. No curse words involved. Sorry, I got a potty mouth sometimes.
if
Yeah,
if
hot dog's a
peanut
sandwich.
butter wasn't called peanut butter. Okay, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Peanut mash.
All right.
Peanut
If
mash.
you crashed your car on purpose, is it still an accident?
No,
What is it?
it's homicide.
If you killed anybody.
I don't know. Drawing a painting a picture.
Intentional lit dent. Toilet paper, under or over?
I think it's got to go over.
Yeah. About time somebody picks over.
Is that
There's a
the
lot of
correct
people out there
answer?
that just don't care.
I don't know.
In
A
my
lot of people
mind,
don't
it
care.
is. Yeah. It's gotta be
It does
over.
matter, because if it's over, then the part
It's
that,
right
the end
there.
of it is right there where you can grab it. Whereas if it's
Yeah.
under, it's on the back side of the roll. You got to reach under
You
the
gotta
roll
spin it
to
and
grab
get
it.
Wow. Riveting conversation. Um,
It is. How come JR's video is like in HD and Brian's is super fuzzy?
he's in Montana though with that internet.
I might
Yeah,
have slow
but
You
we
internet.
got,
gotta-
you got a little fuzzy there.
We got to slip this, because he's the good looking one. He
True,
needs to
that
have
is
the
true.
good video.
Normally he has good video,
Oh.
but he got a little fuzzy.
Oh, now
If-
I'm losing my screen.
If a short person smoked weed, did they get medium or high?
Yeah. Medium.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Are you there right now, sir? No.
No, I'm already pretty tall.
Not on a school night.
No, I'm already pretty tall. So
At a
I'm good.
movie theater, which armrest is yours?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Mhm.
Now,
They
you
are
got one of
both
those
mine.
fancy movie
They are
theaters
both
where you got,
mine.
like, you got recliners in your movie.
Oh, that's the
theater?
only movie theaters we have around here. Yeah.
What, in your
Maybe
living
I just
room?
haven't been to it. You know what? I'm taking that question off because I haven't been to movie theater in a decade. And a half or
Wait a
2
minute.
decades.
You have movie theaters that are not reclining chairs now?
Well, I
He
mean,
doesn't know. He
the
hasn't been to
guy
the
up there-
movies.
I don't
Have
know
you
what's
even seen the
inside the
Spider-Man
theater.
movie yet, Brian?
But-
Which one?
The most recent Spider-Man movie.
I've seen Scooby. we just watched Scooby the other day.
All right.
That's a pretty
All
good movie, though.
It
Okay, and
was
here's
a
why.
good movie.
Here's why. You have the reclining chairs or the regular chairs. It doesn't matter. They're there. They're both mine until either, if there's a stranger sitting next to me,
Sorry,
that
Vinny, I
stranger.
need to interrupt you with a message from your wife. You're really loud. You're gonna wake up the kids.
So if the stranger next to me grows the balls to push my arm off and take my armrest, I will say, "Good
Well
day,
played.
sir. Well played. Good job." And I will concede and I will let him have the armrest. But I'll bet you odds are, man, I got the balls to do it.
I
So,
would.
but on the other side, there's stranger on one side and my wife on the other side, in which case, yeah, that's my armrest.
All right. If you
Is it an
drop the
armrest?
soap on the floor, is it the floor clean or the soap dirty?
Am I in prison?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the soap.
Um,
Not how you pick up the soap.
I mean, you would have to say that the floor is now clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soap doesn't get dirty. Ever.
If if animals could talk, which one would be the rudest?
A cat. Absolutely.
Yes. Rude SOBs.
All right. If you choke a Smurf, what color would it be?
Purple.
Okay.
That's deep. what would be the most creepiest thing you could say to somebody as you pass them on a sidewalk?
Mm.
Just that.
Mm-hmm.
The question was, what would be the creepiest thing you could say to somebody?
Yeah. As you
Yeah,
pass
I'm gonna
them on
go.
the sidewalk.
I'm gonna go. You just walk past somebody, you look at them, go.
All right, creeper.
Total creeper.
How many miles have you scrolled with your thumb?
A few. A few. Especially now that I've gotten into TikTok.
Oh my God, TikTok.
I'm doing more TikTok scrolling now than Facebook.
Oh,
Got to be careful. TikTok's a Chinese app.
Fine.
your thumb gonna get the
They
virus.
have your information now.
That's okay.
Okay.
I would have given it to them if they would have just asked.
All
They
right,
wasted all the time.
I got one more question. What about you, Brian?
I got one more as well.
All right, we'll do one
Or you
more
wanna-
each, and then we'll get to the good one.
All right, that'll work.
All right.
So
If a number two, go ahead, Brian.
go ahead.
If a number two pencil's the most popular, why is it not called number one?
Isn't there a scientific reason for this? Wasn't there a correct answer to this question?
I don't know.
I thought
don't
somebody
look for
gave us
answers
even
to
the
that question.
correct answer.
Huh?
I thought somebody gave us their correct answer. Something to do with like it was the number two type of graphite used or something. So I think there is a correct answer to this question, but I'm just going to go because the world is filled with jerks.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Nobody wants to be number one. All right. So if you were arrested with no explanation whatsoever, what would your friends and family assume that you did wrong?
What would they assume I did wrong? I have snuck on to my fair share of golf courses and played golf late at night before. You're not supposed to do that, apparently. So I would say maybe they assumed I did that again.
You play with glow in the dark? Never
Cool
mind.
story, Rudolph.
I mean, I just assume. I guess they.
All right, it is time for the final rapid fire question.
Do it.
And I am gonna lose it. I guarantee it. If you had to pick between me and Brian, who would you hang out with?
Probably Maggie. I love her so much. She's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty.
Vinny, I already said I was going to lose. It's okay if you pick Brian. I would pick Brian.
Getting brownie points before bedtime is not needed.
Well, JR and I went on vacation together in South Dakota. Brian was supposed to be there, and then he wasn't.
Supposed to be.
But then we did San Diego.
Yeah.
We did do San Diego all together. We did do that. So that's fun.
We did Heartland together, though.
Ooh, Brian, you and I did do Heartland together, and you came and stayed here for how many days were you here?
Just one night, I think it was.
Just one night, and then you went on to Kansas City to see your mommy.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the deal. I'm gonna say Brian, not because JR's right. Simply because JR and I have had extended time together in South Dakota on vacation. So it's time for Brian and I to have extended time. Plus Brian curls the bill of his hat, which automatically makes him far more trustworthy.
Wow.
There you go. Oh,
Yep.
Wrong way.
The more curved to your bill, the more trustworthy you are.
Yeah, but if you have a curved bill, you can't use your hat as a green screen.
Ooh, that is kind of
I
neat.
have it blend in. Or you just have Kansas City red and it won't blend in anyways. So.
Oh, snap.
Those colors don't bleed, Brian.
And apparently they win now. I don't know how that works, but hey. Go Raiders.
Ooh, God.
Anyways.
Friends
That's
anymore.
in Vegas now, though.
Yeah, I might actually
How
go.
are you not a Niners fan?
Did you ever get your coffee cup?
Yes, I did.
I'm
just not a heavy
wouldn't have
coffee
known.
drinker, but I got a coffee cup. I forgot.
Well, it's for your wife. She drinks.
But why?
Yeah,
Again,
she
why
actually
aren't
uses
why aren't you a Niners fan? You should be.
Why? Why should I be a
'Cause
Niners fan?
You're in the Bay Area.
Where do you
That's
think
the
Oakland is?
In Las Vegas?
Well, yeah,
Well, the Raiders are in Vegas.
but they've been in Oakland a majority of my life.
You know the NFL is talking about, having fanless stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
So they are actually consulting with the Raiders on how to handle not having any fans in the stands.
Oh yeah, is that how it is? Yeah.
Sorry to all you other Raider fans.
To be honest, though, to be fair,
To be fair.
To be fair.
I picked the Raiders as a child because they were the same colors as Dale Earnhardt.
Huh.
Oh.
So you kill all the things you love.
Ooh.
Was that too harsh?
That's it.
Was that too much?
He's hitting all of them.
I don't even know what button to hit to that.
I'm sorry. I want to say that was really rough, but come on. At some point,
Too
we have to
soon.
cross the line.
Too soon.
We have to cross the line that we are now. It's
Too
funny.
soon. It's
Right.
been 58, 20 years.
Too soon.
Oh, shoot. Vinny,
was
dude,
not a
it
good
has
joke.
been a blast.
It was all fun and games until the last question. I feel like I'm going to cry.
Hey,
You'll get over it. You're young.
hey. How many times did I ever get a Team Vinny win?
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about you insulting
Your
I earned
Dale?
my
Great.
Yes.
The great.
Wait, come on. Dale Earnhardt's not the great one. Richard Petty.
Richard Petty.
All right, this
Richard
episode
Petty's
has
the
ended.
great
With,
one.
with Dale Earnhardt, that you either loved him to death or you hated him to death. There
All right.
was no middle ground.
Now we're going
with
into
Earnhardt.
NASCAR. So
Brian,
now
what if I had
it's
said the great
overtime.
one was not Richard Petty? The great one was Jeff Gordon.
You know what? I'm leaving right now.
Rainbow Warrior.
Rainbow Warrior. Take your
Yes!
Nebraska
Wow.
happy cornhole and
Yeah.
No,
go
come
drop
on.
your
Richard
stove.
Petty was the great one. We all know it.
I don't know. I'm an Earnhardt fan. I think Dale Sr. was.
I was Tony.
I think you're going to lose a lot of followers over this
That was my
NASCAR talk.
bad.
You
Go
think so?
Tony.
I think so. I think people are going to give
Not like-
up on you guys.
It's not like we said Kyle Busch is really good.
So you're
It'd be
getting too
fun-
modern for me now.
Too modern.
Too modern.
You're
You know,
modern.
Since we're
Go
recording
Harvick.
this on Thursday night, did you see the race last night, Brian?
I did not. Didn't even know. it
Kyle
was on. I
Busch
haven't
took
tur-
out Elliott,
Maggie's
And then-
making me a
Really?
sign telling me I'm too loud. Except
and then
she
Elliott flipped off Kyle Busch. It was great.
she spelled the words wrong on her sign.
Show us.
Give me the sign. Give me the sign. Give me the sign. This is what Maggie's trying to tell me that I'm being right now. Oh,
Shoot. Oh, doggone it.
there we go.
2.
10,
No.
2.
We can't see it. We can't see it. Vinny.
Gosh darn it.
You got to get the angle of the
There.
dangle.
You get
You get 2. Flip it over. We can read it upside
You
down.
get the 1-2.
yeah. But anyway, it's the wrong two.
The wrong 2.
I love you, dear. You're still pretty.
Hey,
Remember when I told her
Hey,
how pretty she was?
It's hard for me to blur out fingers on the screen, Maggie, please.
So anyway, she's telling me I'm being too loud.
I told you what she told me.
She's probably telling me I should go to bed.
It is that time. Should we say farewell?
I think so. We should have said farewell
Adios.
before we got into the NASCAR talk, but we got there.
I
So,
love you guys.
Hasta la taco.
thank you for being on the show, Vinny.
No
Vinny,
problem.
thank you. Month
you
of the Trier
are-
continues. Who do we got
are-
left? We got Carl left, don't
Well, yes, but Vinny is our last Monday show of the Professional Triers. We're going to have a special edition sometime, maybe later Monday, with Carl.
we? Yeah.
To finish off all the Triers for this month. And then we're going to go on to a next month having something special that we'll announce in the next show.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
thank you, Vinny. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you being on the show.
No problem, guys.
And
Love you, buddy.
we did not come up with a Vinny shirt in this episode. So if anybody has an idea of a Vinny shirt, put it in the comments because we do actually listen to the comments. I'm a little behind on making all the shirts. I'm busy with trying to do work.
Isn't the
Should be
Maggie
a tractor
shirt?
trailer.
a
tractor
Vinny
trailer
shirt?
with the guys yelling
Huh?
at it.
Yes, it is a Vinny shirt, but lately we've been coming up with a new shirt for everybody on the show.
Hmm.
Usually we put out a couple options and have the fans decide what shirt it is.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's just
maybe a
gonna be
99 volts or 99 problems and volts ain't one. That could be a shirt.
That's a good one.
I like the dude standing next to a tractor trailer screaming at it
Oh yeah, that we could do that too.
with maybe
My-
some trees behind it.
My father said that I should paint a giant middle finger on the side of it.
Well, we did get a lot of views of a middle finger in this episode, so that could work
Mhm.
too.
Yeah,
Um,
that'll be the model that we use.
It's
Or-
even funnier when you
or we
know
could
my
have a-
father.
we could have a shirt with a semi truck on it that says, "It's my land. I do what I want."
That's a good one.
All right, so there's your two shirt options. I got 99 problems and volts ain't one, or the semi truck or semi trailer that says it's my land, I do what I want. So leave your
I like it.
comments. Leave your comments. Decide what shirt we're gonna make and put in the Zazzle store. And thank you for listening. And thank you again, Vinny, for putting up with us again.
Dude, I feel like you guys had to put up with me.
No, we just muted you.
No,
It was good.
no, yeah.
We didn't have to put up with anything.
Yeah, you got to test that mute
Jared's
test the
gonna-
mute feature.
Yeah.
JR's got
good.
a lot of editing he's got to do.
Yes. But
Just-
thank
just-
you, Vinny.
Leave him in there. I think every PG-13 is allowed one F-bomb.
Is that how the rules work?
They do now.
All right. Well, I'm going to let him slide apparently because Vinny's now.
Yeah, I told you guys. I work for the FCC.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
good.
that's what I do now.
I'm glad.
Data dork for them.
All right.